One of the things Hammerstein really believed in was the idea of the integrated musical, the idea that music, drama, storyline, character, dance were all integrated into telling one story and into telling a story that was believable and realistic and moving and about real people. And one thing that Rodgers and Hammerstein did for the first time with Carousel that has now been echoed throughout musical theater history is the idea of integrating dialogue and music in a seamless way so that you don't have dialogue, 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 song, and curtain. You have scenes that are, people sing, there's recitative like in an opera, and then they go into dialogue, and then they sing a section of the song, and then they speak again. And the music just flows through it very naturally. And the characters sing when they need to express something emotional. And it literally transports you to someplace truly beautiful.
I play Julie Jordan, and she is a mill worker in this 1890s New England town. And so she, she's young. She is about 20 years old, and she works, in the mill with all of her best friends. She's a very strong, independent woman in a time where women were not very strong or independent. And Billy Bigelow is the barker of the carousel. So he gets people to come to the carousel, he gets people to buy tickets, and he's, like this handsome, macho guy who I fall in love with.
Chelsea is a magnificent Julie Jordan because she is able to find both the vulnerability and the great, great love that she has for Billy while still being a strong, self-actualized woman. And she doesn't need Billy to complete herself. She knows that Billy needs her.
She's very steadfast in what she believes, and she believes so much in Billy and her love for him. And I think that's where she finds her strength, is knowing that love is there.
If you don't look at the piece as kind of a judgment or a political statement, and you look at a piece about a story about love and about a relationship and about a really troubled man who is frustrated and doesn't know what to do, and a young woman who is madly in love with him, who in many ways is the adult in the relationship, and who says, I understand where he's coming from, and I know he loves me, and I'm able to forgive him. The entire piece becomes about Billy's journey towards redemption.
It's about staying with your family and believing in the people you love during times of hardship.
I don't see this show as a dark, angry show. And that I do see this show ultimately as a show about redemption and love. And that I wanted the audience transported into a place, into a world where they could feel that emotionally from the set.
I started the design process by listening to the music. That really helped just get a feel for what the show really was. And I started talking with Jay, and he kind of gave his concept of the show by inspiring hope in the audience to move to a new future with this piece. So from that, he also started talking about magical realism and how he didn't want the scenery to be very realistic. He wanted it to be very artistic. So I took that concept and just started researching ideas and coming up with artistic ideas for what the scenery would look like. My favorite thing about this process so far is seeing what the actors and the director think about the scenery, because they come in and they just gasp. They just are awestruck by the progress that's being made. So I think that above all is the best thing, and hopefully the audience gets the same reaction to it.
How do you actually put a carousel on stage in the opening sequence without blowing your entire budget on it, and kind of creating elements of a carousel. And she's done a beautiful job of just giving us a suggested carousel that I think will take your breath away. Working on this show, I said, let's not begin our conversation talking about the nuts and bolts of what we need on stage. Let's start talking about the feeling we want the audience to have when they're watching the show. And I said, I need their hearts to fill. I need their eyes to tear, and I need moments of their breath to just be taken away. And I sat in rehearsal last night, and all three of those things happened.